Yeah.
I don't know. I thought these was fair because I actually tested this out in the SID office. And who's the guy that works in your office?
Brian. Brian was nailing them. I don't know if you know Brian, but he knows all about idioms. This kid.
Wow.
I mean, I was like, well, let's see, because my thought was a lot of people might not know these, and hard to finish them. And I was like, okay, well, I think this is a good idea. We'll see if it works. And then everything I was saying, he was getting. I'm like panicking. I'm like, oh my God, this isn't going to work.
It was the complete opposite of a few months ago. We had Grant Dean on the show. Do you know who Grant Dean is? He's a golfer here at UCCS. Yeah. And Grant Dean was asked the most difficult question about...
All right, we played trivia, and
No, we didn't play anything. You stumped this kid for 20 straight minutes. You asked him questions about the 1800s and the Oregon Ducks.
First of all, yeah, well, he said he was a huge Oregon Ducks fan.
He hasn't been following him since the 1800s.
Well, to be truthful, at the last second, I Googled just some Oregon Duck trivia, and I just literally read them off the computer for the first time. They were
unanswerable.
Yeah.
So at least you got a few.
Yeah. I had to make them real easy.
I would say you beat Martin today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So who's getting the shirt?
Well, it's hard to say, Martin. I think Laura won the game, but we do have shirts for both players. Yes. That's how we roll. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But who's getting the radio shirt? That's the important question.
Whoever wants it.
Okay. So you guys will have
because we have a athletic T-shirt as well. We have an athletic T-shirt as well, which you may or may not have already.
Yeah.
But our resources are similar to your resources. So we probably have similar shirts and apparel.
We don't have Don Petro handing out stuff and hiring his softball players. Is that part of the recruiting thing? Hey,
you got to work for Don?
Yeah, come play for us and also I'll give you a job.
Nope. Only the special players. Yeah.
I don't know. I hope we're not violating any NCAA rules here.
Nobody's listening. It's okay.
Yeah, really. Who do we have to worry about?
We got to work too. It's legitimate.
Yeah, everybody works. That's right.
We're working for it.
We're poor.
That's right. Poor college kids. I know that feeling. So we're going to help you out by giving you a shirt.
Yes.
Great.
And you can go sell that on the black market and make a fortune.
Yeah. If I see that thing on Craigslist or eBay,
Martin's going to be very sad.
Yeah.
But if you make a good profit, then I endorse that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, we're going to get you out on that note with T-shirts to enjoy your day, pastries to fill your stomachs, and a win or 4 of them this weekend against Fort Lewis.
Yep.
It's happening, right?
Yes, it is.
4 wins. That's right. Absolutely. I'm excited, too. I'll be there all 4 games. Martin and I are going to be doing commentary on Sunday. I'll be doing commentary on Saturday. You'll be winning on both days.
Yes, we
It's going to be great. Absolutely. Well, ladies, good luck. And I'll see you out there on the field this weekend. But thank you so much for stopping by here on the Lions Den.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And we'll be back in just a few minutes right here on the Lions Den.
See me, you know everything. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. I put it down. I put it down. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. You see the black and yellow, you know that it's the Springs. Get your team together, I guarantee you will break your dreams. Get in that W, man, trust that we be taking these. No battle big enough for you to escape when it's raining threes. Attack the basket, got slashing habits you haven't fathomed. We back in action, UCCS and split the track assassin. Take the high road above them, never taking their course. We Colorado Springs, flying high in the Air Force. Anyone say they got the best of us, you know they lying. Ain't no use in trying, you dudes can never move.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you are tuned in to the Lions Den, the official source for UCCS Sports. Martin, it looks like our music cut out while we are taking pictures with our guests. So if you're still listening, thank you, and we apologize.
Yes.
Sometimes we have technical difficulties here, but we're back. And we got to thank Landry Davis and Laura Mathewson for stopping by here on the Lions Den. Hopefully they're excited about the cool shirts they just won, and if they enjoyed themselves, they'll tell everybody. And if they didn't, hopefully they don't tell anybody.
Yeah, well, it was interactive for them as well because apparently Don Petro was texting them answers to the questions from the game.
So somebody was listening.
Yeah.
That's right.
Don's trying to cheat.
No, he's trying to help his players because he cares. That's what I'd like to say.
I got to tell you, I was surprised because when we did this in a practice run, a dry run,
they all were gotten.
No, yeah, everybody was guessing them, and I thought, oh, this isn't going to go well.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was going to be fun to trick them a little bit, but it looks like your questions were tricky on their own.
I guess. I mean, it kind of had the effect, but this will be fun because we'll try this again. So
we will. That's right.
When we get other players on, we'll do this, and we'll come up with other games. Yeah. There's some other things I have up my sleeve, other kind of games and contests. So it'll be fun.
We'll look out for that. But in the meantime, Martin, we got a lot to get to in a short amount of time here on the Lions Den. Because a lot has happened over the weekend, I'll tell you that much. The women's basketball team in action, men's basketball team in action. Unfortunately, we only came away with one win this weekend in basketball. However, both games for the women's team were very close. They had won 8 games in a row after their win on Friday night. And then they went into the game against Fort Lewis with an 8-game winning streak for only the second time in program history. They were looking for a 9-game winning streak, which would be the only time that's ever happened. And they fell short to the Skyhawks by 2 points, Martin. And a very, you never want to put these things on the officials, but it was a very questionable call with 2 seconds remaining on the clock, which sent Fort Lewis to the free throw line.
Well, Fort Lewis got to the line in the first half.
How many times?
Yeah, and UCCS did not get to the line at all.
That's right.
In the first half.
I mean, you know, coaches don't ever want to say it's because of the officials, whatever. But here on the Lions Den, we can make those accusations. Yeah. And I'm going to say, I think there was a little bit of an issue with the officiating. It was suspect. But nonetheless, we still put ourselves in a position where we weren't able to close that out. We were up by double digits, didn't close it out. But I really think that might be a good loss, Martin, because that's really going to motivate these girls to get back on point. This weekend is the final homestand of the regular season. UCCS is going to host Shattern State and Black Hill State. Those are 4 games, Martin. I predict we're going to win, men and women.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that, that game against Fort Lewis, Fort Lewis isn't a bad team. In fact, I would say that anybody could beat anybody within the first 5 or 6 seeds in the RMAC. And we saw that a couple of weeks ago when Mesa lost. And, it's quite possible. But I really do agree with you on that I think if there was a time to lose, this was probably a good time because it's hard to continue a streak.
There's still 4 games left in the regular season. Yeah. And of those 4 teams, I think for at least the women's side of things, only Metro State poses a real threat.
That's going to be a good challenge for the team.
Absolutely. Now, the men's basketball team has been mathematically eliminated from postseason play. However, they're really starting to turn things around too, Martin. I really like that the men's basketball team, they've been playing some good, formidable opponents. This weekend, they faced 2 top-ranked teams. And next weekend, they can go out and win both games for the final regular season homestand. And so looking forward for the men's side of things, a lot of talent, a lot of young players on that team. They're only getting better. The women have secured a spot in the RMAC shootout, and right now they're in 3rd place in the RMAC. 1 game back of 2nd. They are looking to host a game, Martin. And this weekend is going to be senior night. So I started looking at some of the stats for the lone senior on the women's basketball team, the lone wolf, Lauren Wolfinger. I knew she was a great player. Martin, I didn't know she was quite as high on these all-time stats as she is. Listen to this, Martin. She's 9th all-time in points in program history. She's 8th all-time in field goals made. She's 7th all-time in three-pointers made, 7th all-time in steals, and 5th all-time in assists. That is remarkable, and she still has 4 games. She can easily move up another few places in each of those categories by the time it's all said and done.
And she's been playing well lately.
She absolutely has.
Well. She plays well a lot, pretty much throughout the season, but lately she's been really coming on.
Absolutely. And senior night's on Saturday. It's going to be Think Pink Night, where we're trying to bring awareness to breast cancer, things like that. So please come out in your pink apparel. Be ready for that game. Friday night is a green night. It is sustainability night. So a lot
I was trying to figure that one out.
What does that mean? A lot of themes going on this weekend, but ultimately it's the final homestand of the regular season.
Yep.
That's why you should come out and support the basketball team this weekend for the final home season games of the regular season.
And real quick, this kind of impromptu, but I think for our Shining Lion, because she's a senior. No? You have somebody else in mind?
Well, Martin, what do you got?
Well, I'm thinking the lone wolf.
The lone wolf,
because
with all those
she's
accolades.
she's a senior.
She's a senior,
She's piling up the stats.
And she is in the top 10 in 5 categories or more all time.
Yeah, she should get, I think, like the season award for
the season Shining Lion.
Yeah.
Lauren Wolfinger has been an outstanding player for 4 years here at UCCS. She's the only senior, and in her time, she has seen this women's basketball program just explode onto the scene. When she started here, UCCS was barely known for athletics. Now, nobody takes this women's basketball team lightly. Nobody. Because they know this team is going to the postseason. They have aspirations of making the NCAA tournament. And they could very well do that, Martin. And the only senior on the team, Lauren Wolfinger, a big part of that. So yes, I will not argue with that notion, Martin. I think Lauren Wolfinger is a very worthy recipient of our Shining Lion. That's right, Martin. But we also have to cover a few other things, Martin. We got a lot going on. Men's track and field, Martin, they are doing really good. You know, your boy, Emilio Trujillo, stepped it up. That's right, Emilio. He ran a program record time and provisionally qualified for the 3,000-meter run for the NCAA Division II championships. He killed it this past weekend in Golden, Colorado. He got first place, and he did really good.
He was golden.
He was golden. He did really good. And you know who else did really good, Martin, was the men's, men's and women's actually doing really good. But right now, the men's distance medley relay team, they broke a program record, and Martin, they're 6th in the nation.
6 people.
6th in the nation. That's Kyle McCloskey, Travis Whitman, Anthony Davis, and our own Mike English, who came on the Lions Den a short time ago. They are 6th in the nation, Martin.
Yeah, we got to get them on because
all 4 of them.
They're getting ready to compete big time.
That's right. They are going to the NCAA championships. First, though, Martin, is the RMAC Championships. That's going to be next this upcoming weekend in Spearfish, South Dakota. That's going to be pretty fun stuff. And we're going to have all the results for that next weekend. But this men's relay team, wow.
Yeah.
They are 6th in the nation, Martin.
Yep.
That's really good.
I mean, these guys and girls, women, men and women,
the girls are doing
I'll tell you
good
what,
too.
They can run inside and outside. They can go outside and run like nobody's business.
That's right.
And they can go indoors and run like crazy.
That's what they do.
Do you see my in-depth knowledge?
In-depth analysis
of track and field.
That's right. It's so in-depth right there. But again, the men's are doing really good, 6th in the nation. The women are 10th in the nation, Martin. 10th in the nation.
Yep.
I mean, they are doing quite well as the men, and
we gotta get these guys on. I mean,
we do. And girls, these guys and girls.
Yeah,
all of them.
say guys, I mean,
all
but
of
yes,
them, the teams.
Yeah,
we got to get them all on. They're doing really good, and that's going to be exciting. The women also in action in Spearfish, South Dakota this weekend as well for the 2013 RMAC Indoor Track and Field Championships. And it's going to start on Friday, February 22nd. The women will be in action at 9 a.m., the men an hour before that at 8 a.m., but a lot to look out for. This track team is very good. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I go here, Martin, but they are nationally ranked and getting recognition across the board, and they're showing why UCCS is stepping up in all arenas in the athletic.
Well, we had the athletic director Steve Kirkham on, and he couldn't say enough about how good the program is. And what a great job the coaches have done.
Mark Mish and David Harmer are doing an outstanding job of building this program. They have done phenomenal, Martin. They're doing a really good job. And this team, both of them, men's and women's, they're feared all across the board. And we're going to see how they do at the RMAC Championships this weekend in South Dakota. And then they're gearing up, Martin, for the NCAA Championships. And it's looking really good. Emilio Trujillo, he's on the bubble right now. Depending on how he does this weekend and how others do, he's going to go. The women could go. The men's relay team is going to go to the championships, the NCAA championships. So that's exciting. So we're going to have all that for you next week right here on the Lions Den. All those results, preview the championship. But, Martin, what do? Every week before we conclude the show, we got to do something.
What to watch for?
A lot to watch for this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I look at the events coming up, and it is packed. Our schedule is packed, Martin. Starts Friday at 8 a.m., as the men's track and field team will be in action. And then an hour later, the women's team will be in action.
Real quick, I can't see how anybody could wake up there early and go run.
They do, and they run fast.
Yes.
They love it. They do.
There's no way I could hang with those guys.
Well, I don't think it's because they run at 8 a.m.
No.
No.
Well, no, that's part of it, but that's not the whole story.
That's not all of it. Not at all.
I'm talking about 50 or 60 pounds overweight. So
well, I wouldn't say that, but I say they have an edge on you, not just because of time, Martin.
Yeah.
They're highly trained and disciplined.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. I mean,
yes.
It's going to be fun. But Friday, also, we got two things already on Friday. And then looking forward at 5:30, the women's basketball team is going to be in action as they host Shattern State. Last time the women beat Shattern State.
Yeah, but let me tell you, on these two games for the women, Friday against Shattern and then Saturday when they play
Black Hills State.
Black Hills. These teams have gotten better. So people need to come out and support them. Well, I'm just saying, UCCS, the men's and women's team will not take these teams lightly, especially the women. So they need to be there. We need support. We're going to have Green Night and
on Friday
Pink Night.
Think Pink Saturday,
yes.
And Green Night on Friday night. That's right. And the men will follow the women, as always. So Friday, Martin, we got track and field. We got basketball, men's and women's. And then Saturday, first thing in the morning, back on the track at 8 a.m. The women and the men's track and field team will be in action. And then at noon, Saturday, Martin, we got the conference opener for UCCS softball. Those games will be right here, play-by-play by yours truly, and that'll start right at noon. Second game at 2 o'clock.
You're going to see, I think, pretty good offense, at least from our side.
Well, and if you're listening, you're going to listen to very good offense, and hopefully some decent play-by-play at the same time.
Yes.
But 2 games right there for softball, and then, Martin, that's not it, because the women's basketball team will tip off at 5:30 for the Think Pink Night, men to follow. So, Martin, if you look at Saturday's schedule, we have men's and women's track and field, 2 games for softball, men's and women's basketball. That's a lot going on. And then Sunday, we're going to follow it up with 2 more softball games. Those will not be right here on UCCS Radio, but we're going to get a link on Ustream, and we're going to broadcast through that. So we'll have all that information updated on the Go Mountain Lions webpage. Check that out. In the meantime, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, stalk us in real life, the hashtag and all that good stuff.
And
Facebook
we
want
to
Lions Den, UCCS.
Yeah, and we want to thank our guests.
Landry Davis, Laura Matthewson, thank you so much for joining us here today.
They were good sports.
Very good sports. And good luck to you ladies this weekend and the rest of our teams here at UCCS. Until next time, Martin and the rest of UCCS, go Mountain Lions.